guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're gonna rank up, rank down, rank off, just rank. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're going to rank every single Clash Royale card. Frig. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're going to rank every legendary card from worst to best. It has been a minute since we've done this on the channel. There's been some big changes in terms of legendary card strength, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Coming in at number 17 is the Fisherman. The Fisherman is the worst legendary card in the game. What's worse than being the worst legendary card in the game? The fact that Supercell's not going to buff him in May. Are you kidding me? Because of a touchdown bug? No one plays touchdown anyway. No one plays it anyway, Supercell. Seriously, the Fisherman's a hook. His windup is just so pathetically slow. Some people, sure, might be able to have just a little bit of success with the Fisherman, but usually when you see decks like that, it's despite the Fisherman that the deck is having success. Fisherman does not feel legendary. As a matter of fact, it doesn't feel epic. It doesn't even feel rare. It seems like a very uncommon card because you never see it in the arena. Fisherman desperately needs a buff. Coming in at number 16 is the Royal Ghost. The Royal Ghost is just not that great. He's still only seen in that one deck. Something needs to change. Something's got to give for the poor Royal Ghost. Will it be enough that they add him to the ability to kind of hover over the river? Will that be enough to make the little fella actually viable, or the old fella? Either way, he needs something. I suggest that Supercell gives him a little bit wider radius. There's nothing worse than a Royal Ghost. One of the things he's supposed to be good at is actually splash damaging all the little swarm troops around him. But sometimes it takes him forever to do that. And while you're at it, Supercell, go ahead and add a little bit of speed to his attack. Sometimes that heavy ghost-like sword that weighs nothing, then again, he weighs nothing. But either way, it's so slow. Sometimes there'll be a wall breaker coming down the lane and he can barely even get one chop off on those wall breakers and they still connect to the tower. He needs a faster hit speed and or some more splash radius. Coming in at number 15 is the Magic Archer, and they got it wrong. They got it wrong with the Magic Archer again. It feels like the Magic Archer, either he sucks or he's amazing, and right now he's somewhere in between. He's somewhere in between. He's really not as legendary as he used to be. They just need to nerf him in a different way other than his range. I mean, nerfing his range, you guys saw it right now. Magic Archer, his use rates went from 20+% to less than 1%. Magic Archer, just the wrong nerf on that card, and he will be. The good news is he will be officially reworked in just a few days. So moving up a tier here, we have the Inferno Dragon coming in at number 14. So the Inferno D is definitely a better card than the other three legendaries that we talked about so far, but he's just not meta right now. Really only one or two decks that play the Inferno Dragon. I actually think that the two epic dragons are better, ironically, than the legendary dragon. Do you guys agree with me? The Baby D, well, he feels legendary, or he, right? It's a he, right? Baby D feels legendary, and the Electro Dragon feels even a little bit better than the Inferno Dragon. It doesn't help that he counters the Inferno Dragon as well. Inferno Dragon could maybe use a little bit of love, maybe a little bit more HP, or maybe it's just not his meta, and we'll have to just accept that. Either way, he comes in at number 14 on the list. Speaking about guys who are just overshadowed by other guys who are worse rarity than him, in the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack is just totally, absolutely outshined by the Mini P.E.K.K.A. right now. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is everywhere in this game, and the poor Lumberjack is suffering because of it. Another 4 elixir ground, hard-hitting melee troop. Granted, he spills rage, but he doesn't hit nearly as hard as the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is just a better option right now, and hey, a rare option being better than a legendary, where most people actually have the rare leveled up as well. There's a no-brainer situation right now. Most people are going with the Mini P.E.K.K.A., rightfully so. Lumberjack comes in at number 13. Coming in at number 12 is the Night Witch. Night Witch is still kind of hanging on to the meta, but again, just as we almost always see from the Night Witch, unless she's OP, she's really only used in Golem decks, whether it be Elixir Golem or Golem. She is the quintessential support card, and guess what, guys? I actually think that she is pretty well balanced, honestly. She's really good in beatdown, and she's not very good in other archetypes, and that's okay. I feel like she has her niche in the game. She's not a trash card, she's not an OP card. I feel like the balance on Night Witch is pretty good inside the game. Sure, you might be able to buff maybe one more Death Bat or something like that to her overall kit, but you know, all things being considered, I think compared to the other cards we mentioned, she's in the least need of a buff right now. Coming in at number 11 is the Ram Rider. So Ram Rider is still a completely viable card, and believe it or not, Ram Rider use rates use rates are low. Win rates are actually pretty high in grand challenges, not the case on ladder. So some people who use Ram Rider definitely have success with her. We're getting into another tier of legendary cards here, guys. All of these cards from here on out are actually really good, and even though the Ram Rider is coming in at number 11, well, that means there's 10 really good cards in front of her. Let's go ahead and move on to number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Princess. Now, Log Bait is not in the best spot right now. It's definitely, you know, viable in the meta. It's still a very popular deck, but almost everybody runs some sort of a response to Log Bait right now. And really the best version of Log Bait is because of the success of other cards, such as Dark Goblin actually poking his way into the meta, and the Skeleton Barrel. The hottest version of Log Bait right now has double barrel, Skeleton Barrel and Goblin Barrel, and Princess and Dark Goblin. So sure, Princess can shine in that deck, but the reason Princess is really number 10 on this list today, guys, isn't because she's a trash card. She's a great card. However, the Firecracker has replaced her in the Hog Cycle decks inside this meta. So because of that, the Princess use rates is pretty much cut in half, or cut by a third, because of the Firecracker being a better option in Hog Cycle decks. So there you have it, Princess coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the Bandit. So Bandit's still a really solid card, but again, because of all the swarm right now, specifically the ground swarm in the meta, Skeleton Barrel, Goblin Huts everywhere, well, that mitigates the value a little bit of the Bandit. Bandit, you can certainly still have success with her. However, the meta is just not perfect for her right now, as we've seen in the past. Even with all the mini P.E.K.K.A going around, hard counters the Bandit as well. So because of the mini P.E.K.K.A, because of the swarm, Bandit's going to be kind of right in the middle of this list at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is the Electro Wizard. Electro Wizard is still a great defensive card. A little annoying that he can't outrange Sparky anymore. You have to just save him and drop right on top of Sparky. So you've seen a little bit of a downward trend in terms of his win and his use rates. He's not as strong in this meta as he's been in previous metas, but he's still overall a great option. That's why he comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is the Log. The Log is a great card. You can make a case that the Log is the best legendary card. At only 2 elixir, it does it all, or at least it does it the best. The fact of the matter is, though, there's a lot of great spells in the game, and if you don't have Log, you can get by just fine without it, right? There's Bar Barrel is meta, Arrows are meta for the first time in a long time, people are playing Earthquake more than they ever have, Zap is viable inside the meta. There's just a lot of options, so in a way, that's resulted in kind of a rock, paper, scissors of small spells, you know? You want the correct one in your deck, but you can get by with pretty much all or any of them in your deck. So that's why the Log comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is the Ice Wizard. So Ice Wizard, you could probably make a case as a top 3 card in terms of defense. I'm going to pair the win condition that Ice Wizard is usually seen with higher on the list to reflect that. I think the Ice Wizard is a benefactor right now of how strong Tornado is, how strong defense is inside the game. But I do think when they nerf Tornado, Ice Wizard's win and use rates will go down considerably. So I guess this is a little bit of a reactive ranking. Either way, it's still pretty high. We still have him in the top 10, well well inside the top 10 here. Ice Wizard is a great defensive card, certainly not a great offensive card, but in terms of defense right now for 3 Elixir, doesn't die to Fireball. You can't ask for a better option right now in the game than the Ice Wizard, especially the 6 Elixir tandem of Ice Wizard and the Tornado. Here we go, entering the top 5 with Viva la Sparky. Sparky is so strong in the game right now. You know what? I might be biased here, but I thought about ranking her top 3. I thought about ranking her top 2. I even thought about putting her number 1 because there's one thing you don't want to face inside the arena. There's one thing you do not want to see behind your opponent's King Tower, and that is Sparky. It's always one of those oh crap moments. How am I going to deal with that when they place the Sparky? Sparky is just a great defensive and offensive card. She can totally shut down an entire lane, and as we mentioned in the E-Wiz, the opponent has to drop the E-Wiz right on top of her. That allows you, as a Sparky player, to just kind of support and spam the lane, protecting your Sparky from that E-Wiz. Sparky is great right now. If you want to see a great Sparky deck, check out yesterday's video. Sparky Rage is here, baby. Coming in at number 4 is the big fella you love to hate. It is the Mega Knight. Mega Knight is super strong right now in the meta. Surprisingly, the use rates are pretty high for Mega Knight, but the win rates aren't as high as one might expect in this crazy Swarm, Skeleton Barrel, Elixir Golem, Royal Hog meta. Shockingly, you'd think his win rates would be really high. They're not. That's what prevented me from putting him, as the number 1 legendary card. But with that out of the way, with that said, because I have to state the numbers ahead of time, man, Mega Knight is so annoying to face, and a lot of people are playing Mega Knight right now. He's almost like a big spell with his Enter the Arena ability, so you can get so much value. He's leaping all over the arena, killing every troop in sight, and then you add basically the Fireball when you play him on the battlefield. There's no doubt about it. This meta suits Mega Knight so well, and Mega Knight is actually ranked probably the highest we've ever seen him here on CWA Legendary Ranking videos. So official. Moving into the top 3, coming in at number 3 is going to be all win conditions, by the way. Number 3 is the Lava Hound. Lava Hound, I would say it's never seen a better time than this, but it probably has. I remember back 3 years ago, I think, when like trainer Nick was playing Lava Hound, it was insane back then. Lava Hound was so strong, certainly the number 1 legendary card back in that meta, but right now, it's very close to back to being on top right now. Lava Hound, is the number 1 legendary card in terms of win rates inside ladder right now, believe it or not, even over my number 2 and my number 1 card here. So Lava Hound is a great time to be a Lava Hound player. Executioner sucks right now, so sure, you might go against a bunch of Tornadoes, Ice Wizards, or Baby Dragons, but you don't have to deal with Executioners anymore because that card was totally neutered in a few months ago in the balance changes. So Lava Hound right now, Lava Miner, Lava Loon, it's all viable. It's a great time to be a Lava Hound player. Coming in at number 2 is the recently nerfed Miner. So Miner usually makes my list at number 1. It's really a coin flip, to be honest with you guys. Miner's still incredibly strong, even after, I say nerf, but it was barely a nerf. It was a small haircut. I think they trimmed 1 hair from the little fella's head. But I think Miner is still one of the most versatile cards in the game. Use it on offense, use it on defense in a pinch. He's just an amazing chip damage, secondary win condition, or Miner Poison can be your main win condition in a faster deck. There's no better card in this game to tank for Swarm cards than the Miner, and Miner is just absolutely, I said it before, I'll say it again, he's just absolutely, in terms of versatility, he fits in almost every archetype. No other card in the game, no other non-spell card in the game can stand alongside the Miner in terms of his overall playability and versatility inside Clash Royale. Coming in at number 1 is the Graveyard. For the first time ever on the CWA legendary card ranking videos, guys, the Graveyard is just really, really strong right now. And it's, you know, partially because Graveyard is just a great card. It's always been a solid win condition, but really because number 1, there's a little bit less poison in the meta, but it's mainly because of the defense of Graveyard decks. A lot of Graveyard decks right now are running both Bomb Tower and Baby Dragon and Ice Wizard. It's so difficult to break through all of these kind of anti-swarm cards, anti-tank cards, anti-win condition cards that you see right now inside Graveyard decks. Graveyard decks have a lot of versatility right now too. Some even play Mini P.E.K.K.A. for that tank killer. Some choose to just go with the traditional bowler. Some go with a knight. There's a lot of options for Graveyard players right now. Look at the success of Graveyard God, the God RF. He's been incredible, not just because of Graveyard decks. He's versatile in, you know, dozens of different decks, but really, if whenever he needs a victory in these competitive, you know, in the competitive scene right now, you're seeing him go back to the old reliable, and he wins at just an enormous clip, an enormous win rate in these competitive competitions. So at the top of the game, at the pro game, we're seeing Graveyard is still the number 1 win condition, and even in the more casual ladder game, we're still seeing Graveyard as a top 3 win condition inside the game. Overall, I'm ranking it number 1. However, when Tornado does get nerfed, it will be interesting to see if it still holds down the number 1 spot. So what do you guys think? What was the biggest card snub that I placed too low on the list? And what card am I just giving way too much love to? Let me have it in the comments below, guys. Be harsh. I can take it. Dislike the video, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate using creator code CWA. It means a lot to me, guys. It really does. Thank you for all the support here on the channel. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, you and your loved ones, during this weird, difficult, and just strange, weird, strange, difficult, and weird, and very weird time with COVID, guys. Again, thinking about you guys. Clearly, I'm going a little bit insane in the membrane myself. Huge shout out to Stutts Royale and to Bren Chong. Here I am just rambling for 10 minutes at the end of my own video. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and conclude it there before I make any more mistakes. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys. I am ready to do it. I am ready to jump into it. Yeah. To do it, to jump into it. 5 legendary card last meta to the buff on the range, the buff on the first, or the nerf, frick. Coming in at number 14 is the Inferno Dragon. So here's a little bit of an up tier, up in the tiers, tears up, tearing up. I'm tearing up in this video, how awful this is, I'm sorry. However, EWIS is just kind of hovering right in the middle in terms of win and use rates, both on ladder and inside grand challenges. There's no doubt about it. Let me redo the EWIS. Cut. The data is just trending very slowly downward for the poor Electro Wizard. I mean, the matter of fact, Christine, help me. And right now, inside the meta again, it's just, what am I trying to say? I can't get past the EWIS. Error count. This is off the rails.